Most international Golden Visa buyers have one thing in common. They all want a 250,000 property in Athens. On paper, that sounds logical. Capital city, big population, tourism, business center. But here's the reality nobody tells first-time buyers. Not every part of Athens rents easily. And 250,000 euros in the wrong Athens neighborhood can perform worse than a 250,000 property in a smaller city. Today we're going to explain why and show you how shifting your strategy slightly can get you better rental income, lower vacancy rates, and a more stable long-term investment. Here's a persistent myth. If it's in Athens, it will rent. A lot of investors believe that any property within Athens city limits is automatically a high-demand rental, but locals know something very, very different. Athens is not one market, it's many micro markets. And some of those micro markets are extremely weak for rentals. If you buy a small, expensive apartment in an area like Omonia, where locals avoid living and where families don't move, you're not getting Athens demand. You're getting zero demand from locals and inconsistent demand from short-term renters. A local Greek renter will not choose an overpriced 35 to 40 square meter unit in a low quality area just because it's central. The Athens reality is that good areas are premium, not cheap, and investors often end up surprised that their Athens investment sits empty for months or struggles with inconsistent tenants. Now, if you really want a strong rental in Athens, you need to be in areas where actual Greeks want to live, like Nea Smyrni, Paleophalliro, Marousi, Kifisia, or Halandri. These quality areas in Athens simply don't cost 250,000 euros anymore, not for something modern, rentable, and in demand. So at 250,000 euros, buyers often end up pushed into neighborhoods that look attractive on Google Maps, but make zero sense to local renters. That's how people accidentally buy shiny, renovated units in low demand zones. Here's the shift smart investors are starting to make. Either step up to the 400,000 or even 800,000 tier for a premium Athens or Thessaloniki location, or stay at the 250,000 euro level, but look at high demand secondary cities. One of the best examples is Patras. Patras has something Athens can't promise at 250K, guaranteed tenant flow. Patras is one of Greece's major university cities with a huge student population and new students arriving every single year. That means you have constant demand, extremely low vacancy, 4-year minimum rental cycles, a predictable cash flow, and zero dependence on tourism. A 250,000 euro apartment near the university can stay rented consistently for years. Something a 250K flat in a weak Athens neighborhood cannot promise. So you need to ask yourself, do you want the word Athens on your property deed, or do you want a property that stays rented and earns money? Cities like Patras offer a steady tenant pipeline, high occupancy, strong rental yield, and local demand, not speculative demand. This is how you protect your investment while still qualifying for the program. So the point here isn't that Athens is bad, it's that Athens at 250K can be the wrong tool for the job. If you're flexible with either your budget or your city, you open the door to better properties, stronger rental performance, and a much smoother Golden Visa experience.